Aloha, Miss Elizabeth here. I have my key to the ignition of the car, and I think we're ready to get started. So let's start that car up, and remember as we drive that this brain of ours does really well when it can see it, it can say it with your mouth while your ears hear you, and you can do it with your hands by writing or moving. You could also do it with your feet. We'll show you some tricks when we have our tricks special program. Today, we're going to look at tricks and tips and more tools. And we're going to get ready to work with manipulatives. Why manipulatives? Because manipulatives are anything that helps us move. They are in this area, and we'll be noticing that Nahiku and our guide, Miss Mahina, will be showing and telling movement of many objects. Those many objects will be a mirror, and make your mirror close to you. The object of using a mirror is to look at your mouth, because the mouth is what is natural. We want to have chips or colored paper or blocks of different colors, and pens that have different colors for your board, for chalk, or for writing. Notice that Nahiku has a red and black pen. There's a reason for that. She'll explain it later. Looking back at our multisensory learner, we want to keep in mind that the more we express ourselves or receive information using this triangle to connect to our brains, the better we will have what educators call automaticity. That means you're automatic, no hesitation, you know. Thanks. Today, we're going to be connecting those sounds that we learned in our last session to letters or combinations of letters that we're going to connect. And we're going to connect it using our hands. We're going to connect it by making certain that we say it and hear it. And we're going to look at how it looks. A few things to remember before we begin is we can hear ourselves talk. Fun activity is to actually put your hands on your ears, close your eyes, and talk to yourself. Allah, do I really sound this way? Yes, I do. Isn't that fun? This is a phone. Phone means to listen. But we know from our chart that if you're going to listen, you better speak. This you can make out of PVC pipe. And it helps to get that sound right from the mouth to the ear. Mahina and Nahiku, we are going to look through our mouth pictures and challenge ourselves to find what strokes will make that letter. In front of Mahina and Nahiku, you will have 4 whiteboards. Why 4 whiteboards or 4 pieces of paper or 4 chalkboards is because there are only 4 strokes that make good-looking letters. We're talking about manuscript. So Mahina is preparing 4 boards. We're going to look at our sounds, connect them visually and by hand to the letters that that is represented by the sound. All right, let's review. We have a tip tapper. So we are going to put our hand in front of our mouth and say what will come out when our teeth tap the back of, when our tongue taps the back of our teeth. T, 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 d, t, d, d, d. And what letters, and now we can ask our guide to ask Mahina, what letters are those?
Nahiku, what are the letters that make the t and the d sound?
The t is a T and the d is a D.
She is correct. Now, your guide, Miss Mahina, will ask her to write those 2 letters in the space on the whiteboard that Nahiku believes is the correct place to put it. Where would you put your T? You may pick any board. And you will choose what board to make a D. Is it made with the same stroke?
Yes, it is not made with the same stroke.
That's correct. It begins with a circle. That is a circle letter. We're going to move on to lip poppers. And we begin.
B.
Again, repeat.
B.
What are those letters?
L. No, P.
P.
And B.
You are correct. But carefully, because we are looking at distinctive features. What's the distinctive feature that begins the letter P? It is truly a short letter, and it's just a stick.
So we look at these and we would ask ourselves, is this a short letter? Is this a short letter? And if they're not, then we might need to start a new board.
T is a long letter, and this is a short letter.
T is a tall letter. D is a circle letter. Now, where are you going to put your P with the short stick letters?
With the short stick letters, I'll put P.
So she'll make a short stick from top to bottom. She'll have it go all the way down and then pop out her P. Does it look like a P?
Yes.
Okay, is the short stick extended below so it looks longer?
No.
The distinctive features are important because a P goes below the line. She has no lines to look at, which is okay. There are many schools of thought that say you should write your letters without lines first.
Maikai. So this is a nice lowercase p. But do you see the distinctive feature here is your tall. Your distinctive feature is the circle and the tall. And here we extend below the line.
So it's a short letter, and I have to start with a new whiteboard.
Maikai. Miss Elizabeth,
Yes.
so in this process, we only focus on the lowercase letters for now?
Yes. The reason we only focus on the lowercase letters is because that's reading. There is occasionally a capital or uppercase, but they're very infrequent compared to the frequency of lowercase letters.
Thank you.
Very good. And the next one, the one that pops out with a wiggle in our voice box, is the letter B.
B.
But where would you place the B on your whiteboard?
I would place it with our long letters.
Yes, the tall stick letters. We'll
Like
call them
honey.
tall sticks.
Like
So you begin at the top, you make a straight line down, and then you're just going to pop it out for a B. Very nice. This is our connection between sounds and letters. Here we go. Tongue scrapers. And they will scrape. And they will scrape with air coming out. G, g,
G.
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 The first one,
G.
that's a wiggle. G, g. Which one is a soft one?
G. K. 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 K.
Very light.
Yes, it's light. And that light sound or soft sound is this letter. Its partner that wiggles your throat is what? Look at the mirror again.
G. G.
What letter?
It would be a G.
You are correct. Now, let's try and make those distinctive lines that helps us know automatically how to make that letter. Go ahead, ma'am.
The K looks to me to be a long letter.
Okay. So that tall line gets, and unfortunately you have to pick up your pencil or pen and make that K. All right. What letter?
A K.
And what's its sound? K. Very nice. Any other letter? Let's do our next letter.
Our G is more of a short and C looking.
It is correct.
Maikai.
It is a circle letter. Let's show the audience how to make it. Start like you're making a C. Go back to where you came from. Make that straight line down with a hook. Let's say and do. Start with a C.
Get close things to make them comfortable for you. Yeah.
Start with the C and down.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Nahiko, do you know, or do you think you know why they're called tongue scrapers?
No, I'm not sure.
I was thinking about that. Is it the back of your tongue? So is it like the back of the tongue scrapes the top of the roof of your mouth? Is that why?
Very much so. The best way to find out why this is called a tongue scraper is to do the opposite of what we have been practicing. We'll take out the eyes. So you close your eyes, feel your throat, and get that air with your other hand, and then you can say, k. Repeat, k, 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 g,
G. G.
g.
G.
Do you feel it in the back of your mouth? And the back is scraping. One of the first sounds that children will say when they're infants, g, 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 g. Why? Because it makes a wiggle in the throat, and infants like to feel their mouth and their what's inside, so they go g g g g g g. Very nice. Taking away a sense to find something more clearly is just as important as not. Here we go. The next sound and symbol relationship would be
No sounds.
nose sounds. And these nose sounds would be your three choices. What do you know? She lifts her tongue up.
An N.
And N is correct. Next letter would be,
An M.
how do you know?
Mm,
Her, nothing's coming out. Would you do it again so we can see it?
mm,
Makes it a nose sound, correct. And the last one we will find at the end of many words. And we don't hear it very well because it's a nose sound. And it is,
M, G.
and the sound is
Ung.
ng.
Ung.
Yes. And almost you close your eyes when you say it. Very good. What kind of strokes would make these letters?
Short letters.
Yes, short strokes. So we'll find the screen, the whiteboard that has your. Right, very good. Will you tell the people who are watching how you're going to be making your first letter as you do it? Again, notice that Nahiku is seeing, saying, and doing at the same time.
You start by making a hump.
I would like to ask you to make first a short stick from top to bottom, and then go back up the same stick
And make a hump. And then you repeat that.
and then you repeat it. Very good. And the next letter, what is it?
How do you start?
A short line, and you go up again, and you make a hump.
Very good. And the letter is
An N.
very nice. And the two letters together would be
A short line, and you go up and make a hump. Then start with the C and a circle, and you go down.
beautifully written. And legally, the G would not be there, but for our purposes, it is. Thank you. All right. Now, windy sounds. We get this when the trades are blowing. What do we know about windy sounds? Put your hand up to your mouth.
Should be feeling a lot of wind.
A lot of wind. And that's your key, wind. Try the word wind.
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 What letter?
Wind. W.
Yes. But a W does not begin with a short stick line. It doesn't begin with a tall straight line. It begins with a diagonal line.
Oh.
What do you think?
There's a W.
I believe she is correct. Oops. On her diagonal. And would you please say what your pen is doing?
A short diagonal line. then a short diagonal line up. Then you repeat this again and end it with another short diagonal line going up.
Excellent. And when you are writing, you would do it in one stroke. Will you show the camera one stroke? The less you pick up your pencil, the more automatic it will be. Very good. And the other windy sound is
In H.
very good. Where would that be placed on your whiteboards?
A long line.
A long line. It is a tall line.
Which one? This one?
Yes.
Okay.
Start with a long line and then add a hump.
Very good. Make sure that your tall line remains tall when you get that hump to come out. Very often we get our letters confused, so we want to really distinctively write those letters so the teacher who's reading your work knows that that is not an N, but it's an H. All right, the next one, because it's a combination of letters for this sound, we won't place it on our whiteboard, but the last windy sound that makes us remember where, what, when. Oh, those question words. What do we need?
Oh, WH.
Yes, because there is a lot of wind. Where did you put your homework? So we won't be writing those. Thank you, Mahina and Nahiku.
I didn't do anything. Thank
All right.
you.
Another very important and confusing sound, because this is also done with the throat a little, but it's more the tongue is doing the work. It lifts up and touches the roof of your mouth. What sound might this be? L is it.
Oh, lovely.
Lovely.
Lovely. So Nahiku, where do you think that letter would go?
It is a long letter.
This one?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And if you could talk us through, that would be lovely.
You begin and end with a long line.
Okay.
The other sound that is produced is,
R.
I like the way you did it. Would you look in the mirror and try that again?
R.
Brr. If you close your eyes, you will feel that tongue come up. Brr. It's a kind of a little growl of a sound. And what letter is that?
An R.
An
A
R.
short letter.
It's a short stick letter. Very good.
Begin with the short line and you go back up and add a curve.
That's right. Beautiful letters. And beautiful letters automatically make beautifully spelled words when you have your sounds. Very good. Oops, we have them showing, but we can do it. What is this sound that's so skinny? Shh. Look in the mirror. Shh. Are your lips moving? There are no lips in this. What do you see? Teeth. So what sound is going to come out?
SH.
I have to disagree. And that's because if you say shh, look in your mirror, shh, you're pushing your lips out.
Yep.
So this is a skinny sound.
Just an S.
Just an S. That is correct. And who is its partner that wiggles in your throat when it comes out of your teeth? Look in your mirror. Again to your mirror. You cannot use your tongue. You cannot scrape it. I hear those buzzing bees. What's the letter?
A Z.
A Z it is. So, let's put these where they belong. Now, that S is tricky. Where do you think it would go? Would you be? Now, our guide, Miss Mahina, is looking.
Well, we have to keep it to 4 boards?
That's right.
Okay. Well,
And remember, when you put your pen to paper, you have to automatically know which direction you're going to go. So
I'm thinking, how would you start your S? I would look at the S kind of as two separate shapes almost. And how would that what does that top part kind of look like?
A C.
Yeah.
That's right. So, and I would like to say that our guide, Miss Mahina, has already started to use her hands without a pen in them. There's no reason we can't make letters in the air. So your S begins like a C, but it changes direction. So let's see it.
And you said short letters, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Start with the C and curving down.
Flip it. Looks
Very
great.
good. The next letter that fits the Z, where would that go? Look at the distinctive feature of this letter.
Looking at the distinctive features, I would say it could be a diagonal letter
Yes.
or a small letter.
It is small, and it has, I would put it on your diagonal board. I agree with you.
That is its distinctive feature. But that is a beautiful C.
Thank you.
Now, we have that fat pushed sound.
Look at the lips and what we just talked about.
Yes. Notice in shh.
You're puckering your lips.
And this picture is not the very best, but if you can notice, those teeth are open a little bit. So
Let's look at our mirrors.
now you're going to push it out. Is that a push?
Yes.
That's a push.
Try this one. Do it again. Try. Which one pushes the air out?
Oh.
Close your eyes, because, well, if you're look at your mirror, you can't close your eyes. But is a stream of air.
Like a slow release of air from a tire. You know, when you hear the tire just releasing that air.
That's not Fat pushed
push.
air. That's a stream. Very good vision for me.
Yeah. Push it out.
Push it out. What two letters represent ch?
A C and an H.
You are correct. We already have an H, but do we have a C on your whiteboards?
No, we don't.
Where are you going to put the C?
In our short letters.
And what does it begin with?
And C, or very similar to an O.
Very good. So it would go in the round letters. Notice how she's going to make it. And that's it. Very nice.
Beautiful scene.
Its partner is a letter that we sometimes get confused with other letters. What letter would wiggle your throat and still get that push of air out?
Sorry.
No, good. Is
Pucker. 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 And it's not.
J. J.
J is correct.
J.
And there it is. This is not a good representation, but you know how to make a good-looking J. So where would you start your J? What board would that go on?
A long, short lettered.
Short stick letter. That is correct. When people begin reading and writing, when they begin writing, the J doesn't go enough below the line. Notice how she's going to make her J with the short stick and then continue it. Let's see.
Begin with the line down and curve and add a dot.
Very good. Okay, here are our lip coolers. Lip coolers are one of them just really tickles my lip, but that's the wiggle one. What is the first lip cooler? Does that, and what letter is that?
An F.
Whoops, sorry. Young lady knows exactly what it is. And she is correct. Where do you think you're going to put your F?
In a long lettered,
The tall
Okay.
stick letters.
And which board is that?
tall stick letters. With our T and our H's.
Yes. This looks very much like a candy cane. And it is difficult for very young children to make this letter because it begins with a tall letter, a tall stick that has to have a candy cane
curve.
hook, a curve.
You want to talk us through?
Begin with the little curve down to a long line and then adding a line.
Very good. Its partner that wiggles us is what? Looking at your mirror.
Feel the vibration.
It's a V.
Ta-da.
Ta-da! And where would this be placed in the order of the distinctive feature of the stroke?
A angled
Yep.
letter.
Yes.
And what's the other word we were using for angle? Diagonal.
Diagonal letters. Starting with the small diagonal line, then a small diagonal line going up.
Excellent. Now can you see if you can do it without lifting your pen?
Yes.
My cut.
Our next one is the one I told you. You can stick your tongue out and nobody's going to think it's rude. These are your tongue coolers. What do you think? Looking in the mirror. And what two letters would that be represented by?
T and H.
She is correct.
Ah, you
Since we
certainly
have
are.
those letters, we won't write them down. And what's the other sound that is very hard to distinguish? It makes that wiggle more. Very good. And it is?
Oh,
It is the same.
T and H.
Yes. It's subtle. And at the beginning of words, it's pretty easy. But when a T and an H is embedded in a multi-syllable word, you might hear so that's why we want to do it. Very good. So those are our consonant letters. Our vowel letters, there are vowels. And let's see if our guide and student know the vowels.
Well, I'll start with, are we just saying them?
Yes, what are our vowels?
Okay.
Our vowels begin with A,
Use your hands,
E.
please.
A, E, I, O, U.
And once in a while,
We have Y.
that is correct. Notice when you use your fingers, automatically your brain knows how many vowels are there?
5.
Plus?
Y, so 6.
Yes, correct. This is vowels. There are 6 vowels that can make 18 different combinations of letters. Your vowels make your mouth open. I'm going to just read these because I cannot remember all of them. Everybody, let's put our jaw, our hand underneath our jaw. I'm going to say it first and then ask you to repeat. The purpose of this is to notice how the jaw drops with the letter sound. E,
E,
I,
I,
A,
A,
E. Let's repeat those again. E,
E,
I,
A,
E. Did you feel your jaw go down?
Yes.
And then we can continue. I'll repeat it again. E,
E,
I,
I,
A,
A,
E,
A,
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 I,
I,
Ah.
A,
Repeat that again. E,
E,
I,
I,
A,
A,
E,
A,
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 I,
I,
Ah.
A,
Which one made your mouth open the most?
A.
That is exactly why we want you to open that mouth, because the ah is round, just like the letter. And then it moves up. So it goes, let's repeat that we're going to go up. We're going to make our jaw go up. Ready? We're going to start with the one that opens our jaw the most. Ah.
A,
Ah. O.
O,
Ooh.
U,
Again. ah,
ah,
ah, o, u. Which was the most closed sound that you? Oh, it's just a little. Okay. There are also letters combinations that are made with vowels, and we will discover them as we continue in our series.
So Nahiku, if you recall, we were working with lowercase letters, correct? Okay. So I would like for you to carefully notice your beautiful work here and see if you can identify anything that may not necessarily look like a lowercase letter.
My P.
Yeah. Can you tell us why it doesn't look like a lowercase letter?
It doesn't look like a lowercase letter to me because of this whiteboard not having lines, as well as it being visually taller than all the other letters.
Yes. Perfect. Do you think you can fix that for us?
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent. And when you wrote it as a lowercase, but then these guys, right? You wrote
Yes.
them a little lower, so it just got a little misaligned. And noticing is half the battle.
A
'Cause
long
you can't fix
line.
anything if you don't notice it.
And
Beautiful. Okay. So, there is a certain type of letter that is lacking here on our boards. Do you remember, or do you think you know what those kinds of letters are? The ones-
vowels.
Yes. Alrighty. And what are the vowels again?
Use your hand.
A, I, E, O, U, and sometimes Y.
My kai. So now, let's go ahead and put them on the appropriate boards. And so what letter should we start with?
A.
Okay. You want to talk us through? My kai.
I begin with a circle and I add a line.
Very good. What letter, what vowel would you like to do next?
An E,
Okay.
and that would be a short letter.
Let me jump in because E is not, it's one of those letters that don't follow your typical rules. If you can imagine an E in your head, what is the distinctive characteristic of the E?
It's line in the middle
A line in the middle of what?
of a C.
Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. What vowel is next?
A short letter.
And what vowel is it?
It is an I.
Ah,
Small line and add a dot.
very nice. And next?
We have an O.
Ah, beautiful.
It's like two C's together. And you go round.
Okay.
Distinct features. Would you really agree that it's two C's together? Take a look at your letter.
It is an O.
That's right.
And moving on.
To a U.
Okay. And where do you think that one would go?
In the short letters.
Ah, I would have to agree.
Could you describe that for the viewers? How do you begin?
It's as if you were making a V, but more to an angle. So, how would I describe that? I'm not sure how to describe it.
Maybe like a cup.
Like a
Or
cup.
maybe, how do you start it off though, right? Because you start it off as a, and then you curve it.
Oh, so you make a line and then you're curving to make another line.
Like a
And then-
basket, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Could you show the viewers that one again?
Yes. You're making a line and then you're curving at the bottom and you go back up and add a line.
Very nice. Now, as an extension of that, and we have one more vowel that is sometimes a vowel.
It is, again, a short one.
What is it?
Y.
Oh, okay.
Make a line and you curve and you go back up and then you add a line and you down and curve.
Is lovely. Very good. All right. Okay.
So would you like to show the audience so your short stick letters, consonants, your circle letters, consonants and vowels, your tall stick letters, all consonants, and your diagonal letters, all consonants.
All right. Excellent work, Nahiku. Let's continue with a review from yesterday. So yesterday, the previous day, was all about sounds. The fancy word for that is phonemes, and we can just call them sounds. And it is the combination of sounds that make up words. Do you remember? So we have our mirrors, right? Because it's important to see what we say, right? And then we have our manipulatives here to provide us with the movement and the tactile, that means feeling, aspect of it. And we have our ears and we have our eyes, and we are ready to begin. Let's get you a little bit more room here, because it's sometimes hard to write when the thing is up against your chest.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You ready?
Yes.
Remember this? You got your mirror at hand. I am going to give you a word, and you are going to represent the sounds with the different colored pieces. Okay. Looks like you're ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm going to practice as well, so I'm going to have my mirror. Nahiku, the word is hop.
Hop.
So we're going to grab our mirrors, and I want you to say and see and hear each sound. Okay? So the word is hop.
Up. Hop.
Okay. Sounds great.
Ah.
I really like the way you repeat the sound as you grab the piece and put it on the board. My Ka'i, so beautiful. Hop. Can you do, this is something we didn't do the last time. Can you represent each of the sounds with a letter?
Yes.
Oh, one more thing, Nahiku. Can you please write, if there is a vowel in there, can you write the vowel with a red marker?
Yes.
Okay.
Up.
My
Hop.
What's your word again?
Hop.
Beautiful.
Hop.
Very nicely done. Hop. Okay. Now, Nahiku, let's see if you can represent the sounds in the word shop. What's your word?
Shop.
Okay, let's go ahead and grab our mirrors. And I want you to see and hear each sound as you say them.
Up. Shop.
Okay. How many sounds did you hear?
3.
Makai.
Up. Shop.
Beautiful. Now, your word is shop. Can you use letters to represent the word shop?
Yes, I can. Up.
Ooh. Nice. And what's your word?
Shop.
Ah, so 2 letters can make 1 sound. Beautiful. Okay, let's try another one. Now, your word is shape.
Repeat.
What is your word again?
Shape.
Okay, let's hear those sounds as you see those sounds.
Ape. Shape.
Okay.
Shape.
Okay, I have a question for you, Nahiku. What sound is this? What sound is this? And what's our word here?
Shape.
Okay, so we have to do a little adjusting. Ah, well done. Okay. Nahiko, I'm going to make one more suggestion just for the sake of consistency and clarity. Because we do have others that look more like, can we do that? I know that they're both blue chips, but I think that's the visual. The visual is stronger. Okay, now we kind of got a little bit off track, but do you remember what this word was?
Shape.
Okay, let's go ahead and write the letters to represent that. Ah, nice.
Ape.
Ah, and what is your word again?
Shape.
Now, let's look a little bit more closely. Does something seem a little bit off about what you're looking at here?
Yes.
What do you think?
I'm missing a sound and letter.
Shape. Are you missing a sound? Shape. You might be missing a letter, but you're not necessarily missing a sound. A.
I'm missing an E.
Yeah. How do you know that? What would this say without an E? Shap.
Yes.
Yeah. So correct. You are missing that E at the end.
And the E
Makes
then represents the A as saying its name instead of its sound.
absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So does this make a sound?
No. It is
But
silent.
it does have a job, right?
Yes.
And its job is to make this
Say its name.
beautiful. What is this word again?
Shape.
Maikai, can you read these 3 words for me?
Pop, shop, shape.
Beautifully done, Mexico. Beautifully done. Okay, we're going to try another set of words. Okay, let's get our eraser. Here you go.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. All right, here we go. Got our mirror handy. Pet. Pet. So what's your word?
Pet.
Pet.
Et.
How many sounds did you hear?
I heard 3 sounds.
Okay.
Et.
I love how you grab and repeat the sounds with automaticity already. Okay. Now what's your word?
Pet.
Pet. Now let's see if we can put the letters to match the sounds with vowels in red.
E.
My
Pet.
ka'i. Pet. My ka'i loa. Alrighty, let's see if we can create the word pest. But first, let's say, see, and hear. Pest.
Est. Pest.
How many individual sounds did you hear? We can hold up the mirror.
Pest. Est. I heard 4 sounds.
Beautiful. Show them to me, please.
E. Wait. E. Is. Pest.
Okay, so here, oh, yes, I confused myself. Why don't you go ahead and write the letters that represent the sounds?
E. Pest.
Mm-hmm. So the reason why I was confused is, may I make another suggestion, which is the same suggestion I made the last time around? Can we be more consistent? Yes, they are both blue, but one is the chip and one is the square. Can we make it more consistent?
Yes.
My ka'i. Beautiful. Doesn't that help you a little bit too?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and what's your word?
Pest.
Beautifully done. Okay, ready for the next one? The next one is, grab your mirror, quest. So what's your word?
Quest.
I love the word quest. Okay, so say it slowly and watch yourself as you say it.
Est. Quest.
Slow it down. Quest. Quest.
Quest.
Okay, how many sounds do you think you hear there?
5.
My ka'i. All right, show me. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And with the Q, is it Q and U?
So now you're going to letters when we're working on sounds, which is fine, but it's not just, you have to have the
Oh, Q.
whoa, whoa,
Q.
yeah. Whoa. Ooh.
Now, I would like to interject here that you are
Thank you.
correct, Nahiku. Qu is actually, if you look in your mirror, it's 2 placements in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it should have a different letter there, but in the English language, Q is always followed by U. No questions asked. Q and U are 2 letters that make the sound qu, and that's all there is.
So are you saying then that qu is one sound?
It is 2 sounds within the mouth represented by 2 letters that don't follow. There's no W, qu.
Yeah.
So you have to just remember that all English words with a Q are followed by U. And that is a simple, solid rule. But if you find a Q without a U, let me know.
So are we hearing 5 sounds or are we hearing
You
4
are,
sounds?
you are hearing those 5
Okay.
sounds.
Okay.
But they're one of those 2 sounds are represented by 2 letters, right?
Okay.
So the answer to that would be you would put 1 manipulative for the qu.
Okay.
That is the answer to your question.
So
Yes.
you're still going to have 4.
You're still going to have 4 manipulatives. Yes.
Quest.
Beautifully done, and I love the questions that brought up,
Yes.
and the responses, and how much you know. So can you represent that now with letters?
Yes. West.
Now, look a little bit closely. Your first letter, is that indeed a Q?
No.
What
It
is
is
it?
a J.
Oh.
G.
Let's make it a Q. And what was your word?
Quest.
Awesome. Can you please repeat your 3 words?
Pet. Pest. And quest.
Absolutely. My kai. Alrighty. Nahiko, here we go again. The word is flip. Let's look at ourselves, at our mouths. Okay. What's your word?
Flip.
Okay.
Flip. Flip.
My kai, how many words, how many sounds did you hear rather?
I heard 4.
Okay. Show me. Yeah.
Flip.
Awesome. Can you represent that with letters, please? Oh, I like that color combination. I like how you're remembering to put your vowels in red. And what is
Flip.
your word? Beautiful. Okay, next word, Nahiku. Slip.
Slip.
So let's check it out. What does it look like?
Slip. Slip.
How many sounds did you hear?
I heard 4.
Beautiful. Can you write that out for me?
Slip.
Well done. So what is the only difference in sounds in those two words?
Their beginning sounds.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, and the last word of this group would be trip.
Trip. Trip.
Okay.
It. I'm hearing.
So,
Excellent. You're hearing what you are hearing.
yeah,
And it sounds like a more fat pushed sound, doesn't it? So you have to look at your instructor, and she in turn will try to show you that tip tapper at the beginning. Watch.
so we say this word in Hawaii a little different, okay? Trip. Trip.
There's like a
It. Trip. So the TR, in Hawaii we say trip, but it's trip.
trip.
It.
It. Trip.
What a trip, huh? Yep, that's it.
So
Trip.
may I suggest saying
Please.
rip. Repeat rip.
Oh, rip.
Repeat
Rip.
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 Now, let's put a tip tapper at the beginning. Say rip,
Rip.
change it to,
Trip. Trip.
it does come out tr, because you're going from a tip tapper to one that's lifting in the back of your mouth. So it's a lot for your tongue and teeth to do from going
Trip. Yeah.
tr.
Trip.
Yes,
What a
ma'am.
trip, I tell you.
And that's the subtleness of our language.
Yeah. So, what's your word?
Trip.
Trip. So let's go ahead and show me trip.
It.
So do you hear more than one sound in
Tur.
T? Remember the tip, the t, 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 and then the
Trip.
yeah.
Trip. Trip.
Go ahead and write it for me.
It. Trip.
Very good.
Oh.
Very good.
Trip.
Yes.
Making that connection is exactly what you're doing, and it's so good feeling. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else who's watching this, if you haven't learned it, you don't know it. So what happens in our brains is we have so much available to us, but it's stored in our seeing. It's stored in our listening, or it's stored in our hands. And when we try to when we make this attempt to put all of our senses together, they connect. Ding, 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 and you get a smile. And that's what we're about. Let's enjoy reading. Very good.
Do you want to say the 3 words for me?
Yes. Flip, slip, and trip.
Beautiful. Very well done. Proud of you, Nahiko.
Very nice. Very nice. That was why I put it there. Because truck.
I see it all the time in students writing. Yeah. The CH.
Because it sounds that way.
Even with the STR.
Oh, straight. Straight.
So when they put the TH, would you say they're just spelling it out
CH,
as phonically as they can?
Yes.
Yep.
And that is exactly why this is the first 2 steps. The first step was phonemes, which we'll talk about at a different time, or sounds. And then when you turn sounds into letters, it's called phonics. That's where all school starts. They forget about this other part. No wonder people are confused. That's exactly what happens. Yeah. Mahalo for tuning in. You've just experienced another piece of the English language fundamentals. It's as if we're braiding a strong rope. Join us again. Ahui ho.